morning everyone. Myself Sarita, Faculty of English, TTW RDC Women, Khammam. Okay, my topic is renewable and non-renewable resources. Okay, this is KU degree 4th semester syllabus. Here, author name is Jadhav Payang. First of all, I am going to explain about the author. Jadhav Payang was born in the year 1963. At the age of 16, he began planting trees and deserted island, and over the next few decades, an entire forest he grew out of his efforts. What is the main intention of the Jadhav Payang means? Here, to plant the trees. Okay, he devoted his youth and most of his life to his mission reducing soil erosion by planting trees and tending to the land. Okay, he separately he is going one of the forest. It is named as Molai forest, known as the Molai forest after Jadhav's nickname. Or last few years he has given a number of awards and has been made a subject of documentaries and books for environmental conservation. Now we have to conserve the environment. Okay, how we can protect the trees. Okay, he may done research on these all things, especially environmental conservation. Okay, and at the same time in 2015 Jadhav Payang was got the Padma Shri award from Assam. Okay, he honored for his contribution. Okay, this is the just about the author. Come to the topic. Okay, our topic is renewable and non-renewable resources. Before that, today we are going to discuss about the renewable and non-renewable resources. So, what are renewable and non-renewable resources? Here, both renewable and non-renewable resources are named as natural resources. Okay, here just we know about the how we can natural resources can be classified as two types, that is renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Okay, renewable resources are again called as non-conventional resources. Non-renewable resources are named as conventional resources. Here what are renewable resources? Means renewable resources can be renewed or replenished, whereas non-renewable cannot be renewed or replenished. That is the difference between the renewable and non-renewable resources. Here renewable resources can be replenished naturally in the course of time are called renewable resources. Examples are air, water, wind, sunlight. Okay, these all are example for the natural resources. And at the same time renewable resources. Here renewable resources are also called as flow resources. One more name of the renewable resources are flow resources. Is a natural resource which will replenish to replace the portion depleted by uses of consumption. Most popular renewable energy resources are currently first one is solar energy, second one is wind energy, third one is hydro energy. Okay, especially these three resources are playing major role in our environment. Okay, first of all we are going to discuss about the solar energy. Solar means in the sense we are collecting the resources from the sunlight. Okay, here this type of renewable energy come directly from the capturing of the solar radiation. Capturing from the solar radiation. Here solar radiation is observed by specific sensors okay, rebroadcasted in a two operation modes. One is the capturing sun rays directly, converting them into energy through photovoltaic solar panels. First one is photovoltaic solar panels. Next one is capturing and collecting the turning sunlight into warm up water or air. Warm up water or these two forms, these two operation modes, we are collecting the solar energy. Already we know in our houses solar lamps, solar cookers we are using. Okay, these all are the example for the solar energy. And at the same time plants also replace the oxygen in the air, and animals replace the carbon dioxide as they exchanges gases with the environment. See here, first of all we'll discuss about the absorption of oxygen and exchange of carbon dioxide. Here plants are releasing the oxygen gas. Okay, already we know. Animals are absorbing the oxygen gas. Animals in the sense humans also comes under the animals. And at the same time animals are releasing the carbon dioxide and plants are absorbing the carbon dioxide. This is the carbon dioxide oxygen cycle. Daily in our routine life it was takes place. Okay. Next, one more natural resource is wind energy. Here wind energy from the air, whatever energy we are collecting from the air, it is known as wind energy. Wind power is another renewable energy. Here wind energy is in the form of kinetic energy. It makes the turbine spin and creates a mechanical movement. Okay, in the form of, in which form we are collecting the wind energy means kinetic energy. Okay, kinetic energy is creates a mechanical energy termed as converted into mechanical energy. After that a generator transforms this mechanical energy into electricity. Okay, this is the process of collecting the wind energy from the air. Whatever kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy, after this mechanical energy the generator will transforms into the electrical energy. Okay, here there are several types of wind renewable energies are there. Onshore wind turbines and offshore wind turbines. Two kinds of turbines will collect the energy. Okay, one is onshore wind turbines, second one is offshore wind turbines. Next, a third renewable resource is hydel energy, means water. Okay, which we are collecting the energy from the water is known as hydel energy. Here hydroelectric power consists in the transformation of the kinetic energy of the water into mechanical energy by turbines. Here this is the electric power consists of transformation of kinetic energy into mechanical energy by turbines. Such kind of energy is called as hydel energy. Okay. Next, what are the characteristics of the renewable resources? Characteristics of the renewable resources. Here are resources that can be used repeatedly and can be replaced by nature from time to time. It is called as renewable resources. Okay. Here these type of renewable resources have the ability to regenerate themselves as they can be regenerated easily. Means see here air, water, sunlight. Okay, it will regenerate very easily, quick process. Okay, so that we called as renewable resources. The process of regeneration of renewable energy provides ecological processes for a specific time period. Okay, from the ecological processes. Okay, if renewable energy is utilized at a very high speed, that is higher than the environment ability to refill it, then may become non-renewable energy in the near future. For example, if any renewable resource will take more time to prepare, it is named as non-renewable resources. Okay, now let us discuss about the non-renewable resources. What are non-renewable resources? Okay, moreover, here a non-renewable resources is a resource of economic value that cannot be readily replaced by natural means on a level equal to its consumption. Okay, non-renewable resource is a natural resource. This one also one of the natural resource only, but it cannot be readily replaced by from the nature. Means it means at a quick enough to keep up with consumption. An example is carbon based fossil fuel. Example for the non-renewable resources are metal, okay, and petroleum, coal, fossil fuels. Here example for carbon basic fossil fuel is original organic matter. Here original organic matter with the aid of heat and pressure becomes a fuel such as oil or gas. Examples for non-renewable resources are metal, fossil fuels, coal, natural gas. Okay, these all are example for the rocks, non-renewable resources. Soil also non-renewable resource only. Okay, how we will get the petroleum? Means here petroleum products are already we know gasoline, okay, and LPG, petroleum or petrol. Okay, these also one of the coal. Coal is also one of the fossil fuel. Next here again fossil fuels are used for energy in the form of two times. We are collecting the coal from the coal mines, and by collecting the coal we are planting the establishing the coal power plants. Okay, already KTPS Kottagudem thermal power station. Okay, these all are example for the power plants now Bharat. Okay, next non renewable energy resources are include coal, natural gas, oil and nuclear energy. Nuclear energy also one of the best example for the fossil fuel like non renewable resources. Okay, next what are the characteristics of the non renewable resources? Here these non-renewable resources are named as stock resources. Okay, what is another name of non-renewable resources? Conventional resources or stock resources. Okay, as they are not available in high quantity, we say that non-renewable energy is infinite quantity. Infinite quantity means these substances can be again used after recycling. See here coal, okay, and oil. Okay, it may again mixed in earth or soil. Automatically we can recycle. Okay, here the non-renewable resources can be present in all the three states of matter, that is solids, liquids and gases. See here example for the solid coal, okay, liquids petroleum, oil, gasoline, these all are example for the liquids. Gases means LPG, okay, liquid petroleum, gas, natural gas, these all are example for the non-renewable resources. So, this is about the renewable and non-renewable resources. Now, what are the steps to be taken for conservation of natural resources? See here already from starting to ending we will discuss about the natural resources. It is named as renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Here what are the steps we are going to take to conserve the natural resources? See here, first of all, we have to avoid resources only when needed. Okay, use various resources only we needed. That is the first step. Next one is avoid the uses of wastage of resources. Avoid the wastage of the resources. Next, third one is avoid the use of materials from wildlife sources. Okay, that is the third fourth one is use energy efficient electrical appliances. Energy efficient electrical appliances, that is the fourth one. Use pressure cookers for cooking, which save 75% of the LPG used in our homes. See here, mostly we people are using electric cookers and pressure cookers in our house. Okay, while we are using these cookers, automatically we can save the LPG, okay, in our houses. Old vehicles should not be used as they are less fuel efficient and also cause pollution. See, some of the people are using old vehicles, it produce the more pollution. Okay, it exhausts the more pollution. These pollution will spoil the environment, means automatically it leads to the conservation of natural resources. Next, utilize renewable energy sources as much as possible. Encourage use of solar, coolers and pumps. Okay, mostly we have to use the renewable, we can use the renewable resources in the form of solar cookers, solar pumps and etc. We should recycle the waste and wastewater for agriculture purpose. Okay, we should recycle the wastewater for agriculture purpose. See here, in our houses for planting trees, we are sending wastewater to that plants. Okay, if we are growing the plants in our houses, we are sending wastewater to that plants. Okay, same step we have to follow to conserve the natural resources. Okay, this is about the natural resources and renewable resources and non renewable resources. Okay, next, why I am selecting this topic means, in a grammar part, how to write an essay. Okay, this is the summary from prose. Okay, how to write an essay, what are the steps we have to follow while we are writing an essay. Okay, see here, essays are common in middle school and high school and college level. Am I right? Here we may even need to write essays in the business world. Okay, especially we may need to use the essays in the business world. An essay is defined as a short piece of writing that expresses information as well as the writer's opinion. What is the main intention of the essay means? It expresses the information, at the same time opinion of the writer. Okay, writer's opinion also we will collect from the essays. Here, let us learn how to write an essay by the uses of 8 simple steps. What are the steps we have to follow while we are going to write an essay? See here, first of all, while we are going to write an essay, first step is decide what kind of essay to write. What kind of essay to write means, kind means here a number of kinds are there. Yeah, whether it is narrative essay or persuasive essay or expository essay or descriptive or argumentative and compare and contrast essay and problem solution essay and informative essay. Whatever kind of essay we have to select, decide. Okay, whether it is narrative or persuasive or expository, descriptive, argumentative, compare or problem solving, problem solution essay or informative essay. Okay, in first step you have to select the decide the topic, decide the topic. Next, brainstorm your topic. Second step is brainstorm your topic. Whatever topic you people are selected in a first step, you have to brainstorm that topic. Brainstorming can be a great way to develop a topic more deeply, to recognize the connections between the various facts of your topic. Okay, whatever topic you people are selected, what is the main intention of the brainstorming means? Brainstorming can be a great way to develop a topic more deeply, to recognize the connections between various facts of your topic. That is the main intention of the brainstorming, brainstorm your topic. Next, third step is research the topic. Okay, research. Keep your research organized so it will be easy for you refer back. Okay, you may done research on that topic, whatever topic selected by you, you have to do the research in that topic. Automatically you may refer whatever information we organize. Next, fourth step is choose a writing style. Here, writing style is here three types of writing style we have to follow. That is Modern Language Association. Next, second one is American Psychological Association. Next, Chicago Manual of Style. Okay, from these three models, writing style we have to choose while we are writing an essay. Okay, here first one is Modern Language Association. Next, American Psychological Association. Next, third one is Chicago Manual of Style. Mostly our college students and professionals are especially using this third one, Chicago Manual of Style, type of writing style. Okay. Next, fifth step is develop a thesis. Here, the thesis statement should be broad enough that you have enough to say about but not too broad, and that you cannot be thorough. Okay, here selection of the topic, brainstorming the topic, okay, research the topic and choose a writing style. After completion of these four steps, fifth step, develop a thesis. Whatever topic you people are selected, you have to develop a thesis on that concerned topic. Next, sixth step is outline your essay. Okay, here writing an outline can help you ensure your paper is a logical or well organized or flows properly. Okay, if you are giving outline to your essay, automatically you may know the it help the ensure your paper is a logical or well organized or flows properly. Okay, these all we can easily observe by giving the outline to our essay. Next, sixth step is write your essay. Okay, write your essay. You want to edit and reread your essay, checking to make sure the sounds exactly the way you want to it. Okay, after completion of the essay writing, you have to write the essay. You want to edit some of the mistakes. You have to check the essay, read again and again. Okay, whether your essay sounds exactly or not. Okay, revise clarity, consistency, structure, these all things perfect or not. Okay, we have to check. Next, last step is eighth step, edit your writing to check spelling and grammar. Okay, while you are editing the essay, you have to check your grammar and spellings if they are making any spelling mistakes or not. Now the essay is written, but you are not quite done. Oh, this essay was completed. Now I am very cool. You don't be like that. Check the grammar, punctuation and spelling errors. Whether you are making any spelling errors or grammatical mistakes, punctuation. If we put the all comma full stop, these all things or not, just we have to check once, then only you will give the clarity. Okay, these are the 8 steps we have to follow while we are writing an essay. Okay, thank you so much for giving this wonderful opportunity.